There is a pattern hiding in world history, a pattern so consistent, so strange, you'd assume someone made it up until you start looking. Every expansionist empire, from Japan to Germany, from Britain to the Mongol khanates, eventually gravitates toward the same kinds of spiritual frameworks. Not for salvation, not for enlightenment, but for something far more practical: cohesion, unity, civilizational command. The empires changed, the borders changed, the rulers changed. The pattern didn't. Let me show you. Chapter 1: Japan's Occult Diplomacy. During World War II, Japanese thinker Okawa Shumei began studying Hinduism and Islam, not out of curiosity, not out of devotion. He was searching for alignment, a spiritual architecture that could unify Asia under the Japanese sphere. In Hinduism, he found a cosmology that mirrored Japan's own metaphysics. In Islam, he found something else: a political engine, a structure capable of binding tribes, languages, and cultures into a single disciplined civilization. Japan didn't copy it, but they recognized its power. Chapter 2: The Nazi Occultist and the Sufi Rudolf von Sebottendorf, a mystic who floated between Germany and Turkey, immersed himself in Sufi Islam. Historians still debate why, but look at the pattern. Sufi orders were transnational networks, brotherhoods, initiations, loyalty structures that moved quietly across borders. To an empire, that is not religion, it is infrastructure. So when Sep stepped into that world, he wasn't wandering. He was studying a system empires have used for centuries. Chapter 3: The comment no one talks about Hitler once remarked, paraphrased across multiple sources, that if Germany had adopted a more warrior religion in its past, like Islam, it would have been better suited for conquest, not praise, not theology. A ruler recognizing a tool he didn't have access to. Again, not the religion itself, but the structure underneath it, the cohesion, the clarity, the ability to unify a civilization around a single will. Empires notice things the public doesn't. Chapter 4: Britain's Obsession. When Britain ruled India, something subtle happened. A quiet fascination with Sufi traditions spread through the upper class. Scholars, governors, even royalty. Why? Because Sufi orders weren't just spiritual movements. They were networks, soft power arteries running through cultures Britain sought to manage. That fascination never really ended. Even King Charles today speaks openly about his admiration for Islamic philosophy. Is it spiritual? Maybe. Is it structural? Absolutely. An empire knows the difference. Chapter 5: The Mongol Masterclass. When the Mongol Empire shattered, its successor states made their choice. Central Asia, Islam. Persia, Islam. The Golden Horde on the Russian steppe, mostly Islam. Politically flexible. But here's the part everyone misses. The Golden Horde granted privileged status to Orthodox monks in Moscow, regardless of whether the Khan was Muslim or Tengrist. Why? Because the monks controlled the moral spine of the population. If you stabilize the priesthood, you stabilize the tax base, you stabilize the people, you stabilize the land. To the Mongols, religion wasn't an identity, it was a lever. The thread that connects them all from Tokyo to Berlin, from London to Karakoram, from the steppe to the palace. Every expansionist empire, every civilization with the will and capacity to project power, eventually studies or adopts the religious frameworks that offer unity, administration, loyalty, and civilizational coherence. This isn't about one religion being superior. It's about rulers understanding something most citizens never notice. Some belief systems scale, some don't. Some produce tightly bonded societies, some fragment under pressure. Empires aren't spiritual seekers, they're engineers. They choose the architecture that keeps the machine running. The real revelation. The pattern isn't about Islam, or Hinduism, or Orthodoxy, or Sufi networks. The pattern is this: empires choose the religions that make governing easier, and they tolerate other religions that make the population calmer. It's not personal, it's not ideological, it's structural, and once you see the pattern, You start noticing it everywhere. In modern geopolitics, in the alliances nations choose, in the philosophies leaders quote, in the symbolic gestures elites make, in the spiritual frameworks that rise during times of expansion, empires don't rise because they are powerful. Empires rise because they understand which spiritual architectures support power. That's the pattern, hidden in plain sight, running beneath the surface of history, quiet, consistent, undeniable.